Welcome back to the channel, everyone. As many of you know, I've been struggling with the electronics on my Axial SMT10 for a while now. I had the Graupner system in with the censored brushless motor. This was the 5.5 turn motor. I'm not sure if it got wet one day or what happened, but I had a lot of issues with it. The motor wasn't running right anymore. So I decided it was time to pick up a new system. I'm sure you already see it here in the background. I decided to go with a Castle system. I got the Sidewinder 4 with the censored 5700 kV motor. Now, I know a lot of people run the 3800 kV instead of the 5700. I went with the 5700 just in case I wanted that extra top end speed. I can always go into the Castle Link software and turn down the power if it's too fast. I've had the transmission out of the SMT10 for a little while now, so we're gonna get this motor installed. We're gonna get it back in the truck, get the ESC in, program that, and test it out. Let's get started. So we got that motor in there now. It's time to put the ESC in. I'm gonna go over what I did right quick though. You can see my soldering joints here. These were the positive and negative leads off of my old ESC. I have the Castle BEC here, and I have this wired up where it runs power directly to my servo. I'm running that Holmes Hobby servo, and I like to put high voltage to it. That way it has all the torque needed to turn these big old tires. So instead of unwiring all these connectors and everything, I just soldered the leads straight to the leads coming out of the Sidewinder 4 ESC. Because I have the BEC on here and the power goes directly to the receiver from this BEC, I need to remove the power wire, the middle wire here from the plug that goes to the receiver. That way the receiver is not getting power both from the BEC and from the ESC. After that, I'll get it installed in the truck and all wired up. For now, I'm just gonna use some double-sided tape on the ESC plate up here. I'd like to 3D print a bracket later on that actually holds it more securely. But just for today, to get it in there so I can start testing it out and get this thing running, I'm gonna double-sided tape it in there and we'll be good to go. So actually I was wrong on that. I'm filming this with one hand, so hopefully you can see what I'm showing you. This is my wiring for the BEC to the servo. This comes from the BEC, it gets power and ground. The power actually loops around and goes straight to the servo wire here. The ground is chained into the servo wire, and then the signal wire comes from the servo and comes directly into the receiver. So the actual wire going to the receiver only has a ground and a signal wire going to it. What that means is my ESC wire actually has to have the power going to it, or else the receiver wouldn't actually get any power. Just wanted to clear that up before I install this. Alright, so we got it all wired up now. Took me a little while to clean up all those wires, but I wanted to get it nice and clean. I want to go over a couple of things before we head outside and try this out. I know I mentioned this was a censored system, but it's actually not a censored system. It's a sensored motor. Motor actually comes with a sensor wire as well, but the ESC is not sensored. It's not really a big deal for me. This is a monster truck. It's a bashing monster truck. That's what I use it as. So it doesn't necessarily need to be censored. Another thing I noticed, which also isn't a huge deal, but I didn't see any labeling on the ESC of which motor wire goes where. That's not really a big deal, but since it's on the motor, the A, B, and C, I kind of figured it would be on the ESC as well. I put it where I think they go, and if it turns the wrong way, I could easily swap out 2 wires and it'll be easy. And I know I mentioned I could go in the ESC with the Castle Link system and change some settings, but I want to run it just like it is right now and see how it runs, and then we'll come back and make some changes. If it needs them, of course. So yeah, that was a pretty straightforward install. Just took my time, made the wiring look pretty nice. Super excited to get out with this truck again. It's been way too long. So let's go see what this new Castle system has in it. So the SMT10 is finally back running. I went with just a 2S LiPo today just to test it out, and it ran pretty well. I ran into 2 issues, but neither one of them had anything to do with the electronics. The first was the ESC ended up going into overheat protection, and that was just because I forgot to plug in the fan wire into the receiver. When the truck stopped running, I looked at the truck and noticed the fan wasn't spinning, and it dawned on me. So that was a quick fix out in the field. I let the ESC cool down a second, plugged that wire in, and I was good to go the rest of the day. I was pretty impressed with the power on just 2S. I'm sure you've seen some of those backflips. It was over rotating, and it had relatively good speed for 2S. I know I went with the 5700 kV, which it should have better speed, but I was still impressed with it. I think 3S will be pretty similar to the Losi LMT, where it'll be fun, but it'll be less scale. It'll be more bashing and wild instead of controlled. As you saw, the other issue I ran into was I popped the wheel off. Now, this wasn't much of a big deal. The wheel nut just backed out and I ended up losing it, couldn't find it. I had another one with me and I was gonna replace it, but I'm not sure if you could see here. It kind of looks like the hex was rotating inside the wheel. Might have messed up this hub here. So I decided just to end it there instead of damaging it more. The good thing about these J Concepts wheels is I can replace just the hub instead of the whole wheel. Other than that though, really happy with the Castle system. The Sidewinder 4 worked excellent. The 5700 kV, I'm pretty happy with my decision. I do want to go into the ESC settings and change a couple of things, mainly just the reverse time. So that delay that's in there between the time you're on the throttle and the time you hit on the brakes to go to reverse. Normally that delay is perfect. You want the truck to hit on the brakes and not go into reverse. For what I want with this truck, I want it to go into reverse a little quicker. I want to be able to do some stunts, you know, little moonwalks and that kind of stuff. And with the way it is now, I can't do that. The truck would have to land absolutely perfectly, and I'd have to tap on the brakes. The truck would have to land perfectly and then start going in reverse. I feel like it'll be a whole lot better if I cut that reverse delay time down a little bit, and then I can do some stunts. Now that this truck is running correctly like I want it, I can finally do my comparison video between it and the Losi LMT. Do have some changes coming to the LMT first though. Nothing performance wise, so it will be stock LMT versus my modified SMT10. But appearance wise, I teased that on my Instagram a little bit recently. Make sure to follow me there if you don't already. After those appearance mods are done, we're gonna do a comparison video on these two. Race them around, bash them around. I know they're really not comparable, but I still wanna get a feel for both of the trucks back to back. I think I wanna make a couple more ramps specifically for these two monster trucks. Some more scale ramps, stuff like rollers, kickers, maybe another backflip ramp. We'll see. I'm gonna get those made in the next couple of weeks, I hope. But yeah, anyway, SMT10's back running. Comparison video coming soon with the LMT. Low C LMT mods coming soon. More drag racing videos coming soon. Hoping to get some more speed on that car. Drift car body still needs to be done. Been procrastinating on that. Whole lot of fun projects here on the channel, so make sure you subscribe if you aren't already. Leave a like on the video if you enjoyed it. Let me know what you think about the SMT10 now. Let me know if you're excited to see more of it here on the channel. And as always, thanks again for watching. Peace.